3, 2, 1, action.
Today we're hitting the dirt and the water in this 1969 Land Rover. And we're also going to talk about how sometimes things don't go quite according to plan.
Holy sh**. What's up, everybody? This is Tom with Fresh Vintage. Today we're not checking out a sports car. We're checking out something way cooler. This is a 1969 Land Rover, and forgive me, Greg, what model is this?
This is a Series 2A.
Okay.
And this is the bug-eye version of that.
The bug-eye version. Let me grab the camera here.
So this is a 69 Series 2A, and this happens to be the bug-eye variant. Now, in 69 was a special year for North America. They had 3 different headlight configurations. The earlier versions were inside on the radiator, in the radiator area here. This is the transition to where they were in the wings later on. But this bug eye, as you notice, the headlights are actually just sort of tacked onto the wings. Later on, after the factory was retooled, they had them recessed, where they stayed there until the early 80s.
So you're saying they were actually recessed into this front metal here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so production numbers on this transition year are really hard to find. There's some estimates, a few hundred up to 600 or 800, but nobody seems to know exactly how many of these were produced. So it's kind of a special Rover. It's on an 88-inch wheelbase. That's the shorter of the 2 variants. Much more agile on the trails. A lot of very basic, off-roading capability.
And looking at the engine here, obviously it's a 4-cylinder, but forgive me not knowing the cubic inches and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a 2 1/4 petrol. So as they say in England, gas, carbureted, as you can see. Very modest horsepower. It's probably on the order of 50 or 60. Has a lot of trouble getting up to highway speeds.
I remember you saying, what was it, like 55 or something like that was probably your top speed. So.
However, as we'll see later, this one does have the overdrive. And I actually have had this up to about 70 miles an hour on the freeway. Very few times, but it will definitely hold its own, in a highway environment if it's needed. But it's definitely better on the trails. That's what I've been using it for primarily.
Let's take a look at the inside here.
Sure.
There's so much awesome in here. So we have a few sticks here. Obviously, this is a 4-speed with reverse, but there's a few sticks here that I'm not 100% familiar with. I have a Cherokee, but this. Why don't you walk us through what these sticks are here, Greg?
Oh yeah, sure. Yep. So obviously we got the manual 4-speed gearbox. We also have this green unit here is basically a overdrive unit, which also allows you, in addition to having a tall, a higher 5th gear, you can also use it in between each of the other 3 gears too. So gives you a little flexibility in various driving environments. You can be in 1.5 or 2.5 or 3.5. And here we've got low and high range 4-wheel drive. We also have a hand throttle here, which I tell you I've actually used quite a bit on the trails. It really helps when you're doing some slow rock crawling.
That's actually really nice. I have a Cherokee, and you're riding the brakes because it's built for the road. It's naturally not meant to go 2 miles an hour kind of things.
Yep.
But I see a custom Casio watch here. That's pretty cool. I really appreciate that.
From the previous owner, I just sort of kept that as nostalgia. Also have the level-o gauge, which is often required for any off-road sessions. You
said you got close to the 45 ones.
Yeah, it's I've got some video of that. And then being from the north, I purchased this from a fellow in New Hampshire who had it. He actually bought it from the original owner. But he had an aftermarket heater installed. So this unit here, so rather bulky, but for those drives in the northern mid-Atlantic area, it's definitely required.
And that's so great that that's functional
Yeah.
and works, and you're not having to like chase down parts to get it to work right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, forgive me, does I see the wipers working here? Does this window fold down?
It actually does. I have not had it folded down, but
Okay.
as you can see, there's some areas here where you can loosen this whole hard top, and you can make it a complete convertible. And there's also a soft top option. I don't happen to have the hood for that, but it is available actually still at Rover's North and other retailers.
And one other thing I noticed, I believe these are vents down here, right? Do
Oh,
these
yeah.
vents? Okay, so these are actually like mesh open. I've seen other Rovers where they're actually closable vents, and you have you actuate them open. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah, this is your air conditioning.
That is your AC.
Yes.
And hey, I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Let's go ahead and we'll check out the back. Okay.
All right.
We'll take a look at the roof rack here. Now, Greg, everything here comes with this Land Rover, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually imported that Brown Church roof rack from England. Put that together, and it's been very capable. You can throw just about anything you need to up there
Great.
with the high lift jack. I've actually used the high lift jack a couple times to get off a couple rocks on the trail.
Shovel up there, and so I see the step here and the hitch. And you were telling me you recently replaced the springs. These are parabolic springs down here now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, after about 53 or 4 years of service, the original springs were a little tired, so I decided to upgrade to parabolics and some new shocks on there, and it makes a huge difference on the trail. Just rides like new. It's amazing.
Yeah, they
I
look.
still do have the original springs though. They could be probably resprung if needed.
They look really good. Yeah, these parabolic springs look really nice, and
Yeah.
it's good that you have the originals in case anyone wants them. So,
Yeah, the other thing about the chassis, this is often a very tough area for early Land Rovers. The fellow I purchased it from actually took this Rover for a decade or more. At the end of every summer season, would take it to his buddy's garage where they would put it up on a lift and spray used motor oil all over the chassis. So it is completely rust free, which again is very hard to find in early Land Rovers.
it looks very clean looking at it here.
It is solid. We've also added the rock sliders on the side, which is kind of saved my lunch on a number of occasions. These are extremely tough units, also from Rover's North, of course, but really help you rock crawling.
Awesome. Yeah, those will definitely save your rocker panels, which is more than I can say for my Cherokee because I just have paint protecting my rocker panels. But awesome. Let's look at the back here and see what's check out. And I saw that step there, so you just flip that step down and
Yeah, I would, it's probably needs a little bit of tightening, but it does support my weight. So back here we got, a modest size seat for younger folks or trimmer folks.
you got the Coleman there. You can always sit on that too, right?
True, yeah. And then we got this really nice piece here. It's a built-in box
Oh, that's
that
great.
that is kind of made for the series trucks.
Need to get something like that for my Cherokee because then my back was just full of stuff.
Keeps things organized and locked away so it's not bouncing around on the trail.
And looking at the do the seats fold down here? Do these?
Yep.
Okay, so those fold down. You could actually. Could you take that bar out of there? Or?
This is this is actually part of the secondary bulkhead here, so that
okay.
is permanent.
Okay.
On some variants, you'd also see a tire mounted here, just depending on what's most convenient for the owner. You can see the mount on the hood. There's a spot for a tire. There's a tire on the back. There's also one on the roof. So plenty of spaces for spares.
Yeah, this is all excellent. It's really, really nice. It's in really nice shape too.
I've tried to keep the patina. It's not certainly a it hasn't been restored at all. It's all original,
And so when you think about maintenance, what all other than like oil changes and stuff like that, what all have you had to you talked about doing the leaf springs, but what else
Yep.
have you done as far as maintenance?
Yeah, I actually did replace the head gasket
Okay.
a couple years ago. I had Charlie's help during it was actually during COVID, so we were texting back and forth a lot. He was very helpful in giving me some specifics on exactly how to do that job. It's pretty involved. It, of course, took me a long time to do, but with his guidance and tutelage, I managed to get it done, and it really drives, great. Drives better than it ever has.
Maximum power and stays
Yeah.
cool and stuff.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for letting us check out the Land Rover here. This thing is really nice. If I had the cash to spend, this would be my vehicle of choice. And yeah, all the windows look excellent. I mean, they look like they have the original windows from the looks of it here. All right, that's going to go ahead and wrap this up. But any final thoughts, sir, Greg?
Yeah, just thanks again. Appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about the Rover today. It's a great original piece. A lot of nice patina. Very capable on the trails. Will definitely be the only one at the Cars and Coffee in your local area.
All right, thanks so much. I appreciate it, Greg.
Thanks.
Yeah, have a good one.